It's been 10 years since the decision. A move that rocked the NBA landscape and pioneered an era of player empowerment and super teams. LeBron James took his talents to South Beach and turned the Miami Heat into the Heatles. They promised not one, not two, not three,
not four, not five, not six, not seven.
Then ended up with just 2 championships. But despite failing to live up to their initial prediction, that 4-year, 4 finals appearance Heat squad is still considered one of the greatest teams of all time. LeBron returned to Cleveland in 2014 and the Heat immediately felt the hit, winning 17 less games the next season. However, under the guidance of Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, Miami has maintained its status as a marquee franchise through the installation of the hashtag Heat culture onto whatever team they threw out in each season.
No. You should be sacrificing.
Despite a motley crew over the last half-decade and the unfortunate loss of Chris Bosh, the Heat have won at least 37 games every season since LeBron's departure. And while some questionable signings had left them in no man's land for a while there, the Heat drafted well, making sure they got talented workers who fit into their culture. One of these draftees was second-round pick Josh Richardson, who ended up being the piece they used to acquire their first marquee player post-Heatles in Jimmy Butler. The Heat then proceeded to get rid of their bad contracts, paving the way for the emergence of a second star in Bam Adebayo, together with rookie Tyler Hero and a bunch of really good undrafted players. But okay, NBA scouts probably saw Duncan Robinson and thought, that guy looks like he has a better chance of being an NBA scout than an NBA player. Yet that only adds to why the Heat are considered as one of these season's best stories. And while they do have a tough 8-game schedule to end the season, they still have a shot at taking the 3rd seed. The Heat still have a ways to go before we can legitimately call them title contenders, but they are good enough to make some noise in the postseason this year. For this bubble preview, I'll be breaking down who this Heat team is as they enter the bubble and why a strong showing in this postseason is so important. What's up guys, my name is Colin, back with another bubble preview. If you have yet to subscribe, please do hit that subscribe button and help me and the rest of the team hit that 10k subs mark before the season resumes, because that's our goal right now. It would mean a whole lot to us. When looking at the Heat on paper, with their stars being Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, you'd think that their success is largely due to their ability to grind out opposing teams on defense. To an extent, that is true. They are the 4th slowest pace in the league, 2nd in rebound percentage, and 7th in opponents' field goal percentage. They also run schemes similar to the best defenses in the league in the Bucks and Raptors, as the 3 give up the most 3-pointers in the NBA. Now, that might seem counterintuitive, but I broke down how the Raptors are able to be a top 2 defense in my bubble preview on the defending champions. I suggest you check that one out by clicking the link on the screen or in the description. So the Heat give up a lot of 3s, but also like the Raps, they defend the 3 ball very well, ranking 5th in opponents' 3-point percentage. This is largely predicated from their lengthy and hardworking wing defenders, hashtag Heat culture. But unlike the Raptors, the Heat are just the 14th ranked defense in the league, most notably because they are ranked just 25th in terms of opponents' field goal percentage at the rim, according to Cleaning the Glass. It's actually the Heat's 7th ranked offense, which has allowed them to become one of the better teams out east. They do it as a full unit, running a free-flowing offense that's 5th in the league in assists and 1st amongst Eastern Conference teams. That's where Butler and Bam's ability to be playmakers is really valuable. And the assists of those stars often go to the Heat's primary weapon of choice and what has made their offense so potent, the 3-point shot. The Heat actually lead the league in 3-point percentage while ranking in the top 10 in both makes and attempts. Interestingly enough, they're most accurate with the further out above the break 3-pointers, which they make 39.1% of. Now I want to call out once again future NBA scout Duncan Robinson, who is the Heat's leader in pushing this 3-point movement. Robinson is 4th in the league in both 3-point percentage and 3-pointers made per game, and to prove just how impactful he is, the Heat are plus 11 when he is on the court, one of the highest marks in the league and way above the more high-profile players on the team. But it's not just Duncan Robinson. The Heat have a bunch of great shooters that have enabled them to be so deadly from beyond the arc, as they have 3 other players shooting at least 39% from downtown. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say whether 3-point shooting will translate into the bubble. You can go both ways. You can say that a team can get hot at the right time, or that a long layover will be detrimental to a team's shooting percentage. However, if the Heat want to make noise in this playoffs, regardless of their defense or their 3-point shooting, there's one thing they really do need to improve on. Remember how I said the Heat are the 7th ranked offense? Well, in the clutch, or what's defined as a game within 5 points with 5 minutes or less, the Heat's offense falls off a cliff. Their offensive rating goes down from 112.2 to 104.5. which ranks 22nd in the NBA in the clutch. Their 3-point percentage falls from 1st to 22nd as well, as they shoot just 29% from downtown in the clutch despite being 1st in the league in attempts. Now, you would think a team with a closer like Jimmy Butler would perform a bit better in the clutch, but that really hasn't been the case. Don't get me wrong, Butler has been a huge addition to the Heat this year. He's put up solid averages of 26 and 6, and the Heat are 5 points better per 100 possessions when he's on the court. But he also may have forgotten how to shoot jumpers. This season, Jimmy Butler is shooting just 24.8% from downtown and just 34.5% on 2-pointers from 10 feet or more. When your team's closer is bricking every jumper he takes, your team will likely struggle in the clutch when defenses tighten up. The Heat are also just a middle-of-the-pack team when it comes to scoring on isolations and pick and roll, which are more prevalent in the clutch. Meanwhile, transition scoring is harder to come by, and that's a category the Heat actually lead the league in terms of points per possession. However, if Jimmy Butler somehow finds a jump shot, and knowing how hard he works, he just might, the Heat could find themselves staring at a potential Eastern Conference Finals run. They've got the shooters, defenders, decent star power, veteran leadership, championship pedigree, and the hashtag Heat culture, which has surely kept them in shape amidst the long layoff. And all these characteristics are going to be highlighted if the Heat are able to make a decent run in the playoffs, whether it's until the 2nd or even until the 3rd round. And ultimately, that's what's really important for the Heat, because the games in Disney World will be the Heat's first real audition tape for the star free agents of the 2021 class. It's no secret that the 2021 free agency class is shaping up to be monstrous. It's also no secret that Pat Riley and company are going to be one of the major players in the market for a max man. If the Heat are able to showcase their core guys during this time, especially considering just how young most of them are, then free agents may start chomping at the bit to bring their talents there in order to be surrounded by that supporting cast. Now, say the Heat beat the Sixers in a 4-5 matchup and find themselves facing the Bucks in the 2nd round. What better way is there to entice Giannis to sign with the Heat in 2021 than by beating him? Now, okay, you might say that's not gonna happen, but how about simply wearing Giannis down in a tough 7-game series? And the best part about having Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler is that they're not gonna come in there and look at Giannis and say, hey, let's take it lightly on him, we want him to play here. They're gonna come in there and treat him as their main adversary. And that's exactly what Pat Riley wants. He wants his current centerpieces prematurely introducing the hashtag Heat culture to the Heat's potential future centerpiece. And there are also several plan Bs the Heat can begin their courtship with in the realm of Mickey Mouse. The Clippers superstar duo of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George could seek refuge in Miami if their time together doesn't go according to plan in LA. Or even better, what if Kawhi does win a ring in LA, but decides he wants to chase a title in a 4th city? Miami might be the place to be. And there are also several other veteran guards who will be available in 2021. Drew Holiday could come in and make Miami a defensive nightmare. CP3 and Kyle Lowry are the lead dogs for two of the league's top 4 clutch teams. They might still provide great value to the Heat even in their old age. And dare I say that the King may return to Miami. Yeah, okay, that's not happening. But the full point of this video is simple. We all know the Miami Heat are good now. They're good enough that they can make a decent playoff push. And that's important. Because if they turn some heads in their audition at Disney World this year, they may just expedite their shot to return to glory. Thank you for watching this bubble preview on the Miami Heat. Please do subscribe, as we're going to constantly be making content throughout the next couple of months on the coming NBA bubble season. If you want to watch another one of these bubble previews, click the link on the screen right now. Or if you want to watch another video from us, there's going to be another link on the screen. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.